tonight on Show Mamalón esta noche, guys. And I fixed my wig a little bit, guys, for the show. We have a special guest tonight by the name of Jessica Guerra, guys. Es la hermana de Chokey. A lot of things have been going on social media. People have been accusing me that I've been breaking up families, and in reality, I haven't done any of that shit. Um, Chokey admit that she had personal problems with her sisters prior to me getting involved. Anna has had personal problems with her daughter prior to me getting involved. So, I saw Margie Bass, and she was explaining to me that it was my fault and I was separating family. I have never separate no family to begin with. I think everybody is old enough to be held accountable for their own actions, and that's about it. And tonight, Jessica decided to come on board with us, guys, because she got tired of what Chokey was doing out there. She wants to speak facts. She wants to speak truth. She wants to explain to everybody who she really is. I know since she went live, I didn't catch her live, but some of y'all did catch her live. And there's always two sides to the story. Obviously, there's always two sides to the story. And I do want to emphasize this, guys. I want to get this clear with you guys. I decided to participate in this I guess this live. Obviously, I mean, Jessica, we talked about it. We had already been speaking about, doing something like this, collaborating for something different. But se dieron las cosas, guys, que Chokey la amenazó. Chokey told her that if she would have a live with me, that she was going to blast her and all this other stuff. Hi, my number one. I thank you, handful. So at the end of the day, I want to explain to you guys that I never contacted Jessica. I never called her. I never texted her. I never messaged her like people are saying out there. She called me personally because she had been a silent viewers to my show. Her and her sisters had seen my show, were there as silent viewers, guys. And so they knew my personal number because I had placed it out there on social media several times. And so that's how she was able to get in contact with me. We talked, we put our differences aside. I apologized to her. I did for certain things that I said. She understood where I was coming from. And we had a great maybe 20-minute conversation. And so she sent me, all right, let me put it here. Everybody's at fault to everything but she's not at fault to doing, it's never a fault to anybody. And you know what? I'm going to admit here, guys, that I'm going to be held, I held myself accountable for my actions, right? I'm not going to be held accountable for nobody else's fucking actions. El que le gusta cagar palo, le gusta mover el hocico, those are their shit, not mine. Right? And I know earlier today, and I go back to that Margie girl or lady because she has a lot to say about me. And I'm not saying in a disrespectful way. I want her to understand that whatever Frank did in his personal life. But at the same time, I'm not going to be held accountable for something he did the way you're making it seem. I'm not going to be held accountable for Chokey's response or problems with her family members either. I will be held accountable for my things, what I've done wrong. That is what I'm going to be held accountable for. But everybody else has to be held accountable for their own actions. ¿Pa qué se agüitan? ¿Pa qué se agüitan? And I know that Frank went live last night and he didn't agree with certain things, but we did we did text with certain things. And at the end of the day, there's always one person who's stirring up the pot, right? And that's about it. And so we are waiting for Jessica to call in the show. I know she said she was going to call in a couple of minutes. And she sent me articles of Chokey, guys. I have articles of Chokey here with us too. And I'm going to share them with you guys as we go through everything. And like this one right here. We have this article from Chokey, guys. Right there. Right there. So this was, I don't understand. She called me a criminal. She called me maricas. She called me every name of the book. Yes, you will be held accountable. Hi, Roy. How are you doing? I will be held accountable for my actions, and that's it. Nobody else's actions, Roy. I understand where you're coming from, but I'm not going to be held accountable for nobody else's action. So either way, at the end of the day, I lost my point of thought. No, at the end of the day, guys, she called me every name of the books, right? And that is fine. That's what I'm playing. Thank you, Roy. And she called me every name of the books. I talk shit too. I'm never acted like a victim. Like, oh, I've never done anything wrong. Obviously, I've always said, yo cagao palo también. Roy Sapham was there for your family. No, Roy's just joking. He's just joking. They need to stop blaming you and others for their damage control. Those rascuachos have been broken from their families since years ago, and because of their evil actions, they need to stop blaming you and others for their damage control. Exactly. Pero luego se quieren limpiar las manos conmigo because, I mean, what else do they have? And tonight, when Jessica calls in, guys, she's going to clear everything out. How Chokey was in prison, how Chokey was a prostitute, how Chokey gave away her kids, everything. It's a sad situation regardless. It's a family issue. You're exactly right. You're exactly right. It is a family issue. But what gives Chokey the platform or the right to talk shit about Jessica? Jessica needs a platform to defend herself. And obviously, I said, you're more than welcome to do it in mine. But again, I never contacted her. Other platforms are saying, oh, he contacted her. He's bothering her. Bullshit. That's a lie. I never did that. So for other people that are si quieren limpiar las manos contigo porque te dejas. No. Pendeja no soy, mi amor. Yo no me dejo de nadie. De nadie. Absolutely from anybody. Amigo que conmigo, los que quieren cagarme palo, van y chingan a su puta madre si la tienen. Y si no, que la saquen de donde sea. Right? So we have the truth. We have receipts coming up. Porque no te dejas. A huevo, porque no me voy a dejar de nadie. Chokey did this to herself. She did it to herself. Thank you, Ms. Hernandez. She did it to herself. Now, before the sister calls in, we have a couple of minutes. She said she was going to call around 8:23. I want to talk about this real quick. People are blaming me and saying, oh, you're so mean with Anna and you're so mean with her. It's not that I want to be mean. But why can't they not see what she did to Kendrick was fucked up? Forget about me. Forget about all the shit she talked about me. To be honest, let's forget everything that she said about me because I really don't give a fuck. But let's look at what she did to Kendrick, an innocent person, a bystander, just to get back at me because you have so much hate towards me. And that's wrong. You went after somebody that considered you a sister, somebody who cared for you, somebody who loved you, somebody that would reach out to you consistently. That is wrong. Sit down, Anna, and reflect on what you did. And say, was it worth it doing so much damage to this innocent man? Was it worth it making him cry yesterday? Because he cried all day. He was hurt, especially because you betrayed him. That's not right. She lied that she had COVID. Who does that? And obviously she once said she had COVID. No tenía nada. Chokey should have never talked about her sister like that regardless. So that's true. I mean, she went overboard, guys, and I think she talked about her own mom. And I want to say this real quick. Share the live, guys. Let's bring in more people. Let's get this going, guys. One thing I want to say here is si ella misma habla de su propia madre, when somebody speaks about their own mother, then that should tell you the type of person he or she is. You're not going to go talk negative shit about your own mother. You're not. Even if you dislike that lady, she gave birth to you, whatever it is. But you're not going to go dog her on social media y decir que tu mamá no vale queso y que tu mamá esto y que tu mamá lo otro. That's wrong. That's totally wrong in my point of view. There is some letters, guys, que escribió la mamá de Chokey when the kids were giving to her. And I'm going to read some of that letter, guys. Oh, I didn't send it here. I'll ask her to read it. This person is entering glow about the drama at 956. Look what I put about. Okay, guys, les tengo chisme. I heard on Facebook that más que decir. I know. So, okay, guys. So she's about to call in to our show, but I want to make this thing very clear, guys. That it's not me who's trying to hate on Glow. I'm not trying to hate on Chokey. I'm not trying to to bring her down. I'm just trying to show everyone that nobody is perfect, guys. Nobody. And everything she threw at my name, all the shade she threw at me, she lived it herself once. So, ¿por qué se te hizo fácil tirar la piedra cuando mira la vida que viviste tú, mi amor? Hermosa, preciosa. Te dijiste que era la más primera dama de Matamoros, que era la más rica, que era de lo mejor, y fuiste de lo peor. Ya con nosotros está aquí. Hola, tía Jessica, ¿cómo estás?
Hola, sobrino, buenas noches, ¿cómo estás?
Yo, pues, cada día más buena aquí.
Ya me di cuenta. Oy, so, are you ready or what?
So I'm ready whenever you're ready. I'm going to go ahead and date lo que tú quieras. Dale gas, mi amor.
Sí, no, y le vamos a dar. Okay. Let's just leave this clear. I did not want to do this, but I have to stand up for myself, and I have to stand up for my family, too. She put out our family business out there when there was no need. Absolutely no need. Now, I did contact you. You did not contact me. I need to clarify that too, because I know that they were saying that you were separating families and stuff. No, that's not the case in this situation. I called you because I wanted to clear my name. Like, why was my name being dragged? Why is my mom's name being dragged?
Correct.
So you went ahead and apologized, and we squashed it, right? So
Correct.
Now the thing is, she keeps dragging it into another life. So this is what upsets me. She cannot be calling me or any other person a prostitute. She is the last person to be the one that should be calling other people like that. Now, she cannot be saying that other people are drug addicts. She cannot be saying that they're bad parents, because let's go now to her story. She was locked up in 2 countries, Mexico and the USA. Why? Because she was trafficking drugs. She was crossing illegal people. She was stealing vehicles from Brownsville, crossing them to Matamoros. What else? I mean, there's a lot. She's already had a couple of arrests. Ella estuvo en la cárcel de Matamoros y de la cárcel de aquí de Cameron County. Right. Georgia, they extradited her and everything because she was arrested in Acapulco with her husband, Roberto, for trafficking drugs. So now, not only that, let's go to she's not a high society, so this is another issue that I don't know why she portrays to be of the high class, and that que los guerreros, o sea, no, mijita. Yeah, get off your fucking high horse. You're not there anymore, okay? You hit low, you hit rock bottom. Our family, my parents passed away already. She's not at that level. Ellos tenían, ella no. Okay, aclarando eso.
Right.
Ahora, también.
Bueno, déjame pararte aquí. Te quiero preguntar del newspaper que me mandaste. Ese newspaper dice de Baja California. What is all that about?
Okay, so I sent you page number 2, actually. That's where the article in regards to her is about. Now the second page, if you want to post it or share it or show it, it states that she was reported by her first husband, Armando, for stealing money from his restaurant, 150 pesos. 150 pesos, por eso cayó en la cárcel, Mayela, por 150 pesos, por rata. Ok, ahora ella en el artículo dice que por su hijo. No, mi amor, esta era bien drogadicta, que no. ¿Por qué crees que tiene la nariz y la boca como la tiene?
Como Carmen Camposano.
Pues ándale, o peor. Ahora, ¿cómo va a andar criticando a gente que son drogadictos? A ella que se le olvidó que ella fue una también, ¿ok? Ese es el coraje mío, porque no nada más cuando yo me enteré de esta situación, ya tengo fácil como 8 personas que me han dicho, o sea, que ella, like, she's been harassing them, she's been bullying them. What is her issue? Why portray to be something you are when you're not?
Right.
You're not innocent. You used to be a drug addict. I don't know if you still are. I wouldn't be surprised because, Jesus Christ, the actions that she has shooting the colchón and everything, ¿qué es eso, Jaime?
Pues sí. Te iba a preguntar de sus hijos, habían dicho que los había regalado. ¿Qué es la historia de eso?
Sí. So, as you see, I sent you I send you the letter.
I didn't get I have the letter, but I didn't transfer it to the other phone. Can you read what your mom put there on the letter, please?
Let me open it really quick. 1 second.
Okay.
So, a ver, hold on.
This was like what year?
This was, ay, la verdad, ahí tiene que salir la fecha. Permíteme.
It had to be like 20 years ago, no?
No, it says, this one was, this was about her second son, okay. Arturito. Él estaba bebito.
Okay.
Ella lo regaló saliendo del hospital. Ella no lo quería. Desde recién nacido, día 1 de nacido. Ella no lo quiso. Ok, entonces ella le hizo una carta a mi mamá porque mi mamá lo recogió. Ahora, la carta dice, bueno, esto es Mayela escribiendo, ¿ok? Porque como ella no iba a tener el niño y mis papás vivían en Matamoros y cruzaban el niño a Brunswick para que no le dijeran nada en el puente.
Correct.
Entonces, like the guardian. So, okay, la carta dice, yo, la señora Gloria Mayela Guerra, que soy la madre del niño Jesús, bueno, no dice el nombre por el niño, por respeto, le doy autorización a mis padres, el señor Arturo Guerra y la señora Gloria González, que son los abuelos maternos de mi hijo, de poder cuidar y cruzar a mi hijo a Matamoros sin ningún problema y viceversa, ya que en estos momentos yo me encuentro trabajando y estudiando mi carrera, además de que el niño está muy pequeño para dejarlo en una guardería y los cuidados no serían los mismos como los que el niño tiene con sus abuelos maternos. Esta carta es para que mis padres no tengan ningún problema en el puente con respecto al niño. Para mayores informes, favor de llamar o comunicarse al teléfono, y ya puso su número de teléfono.
Right.
Atentamente, Gloria Mayela. Ahora, ella nunca estudió, ella estuvo en la cárcel.
Wow.
Y era pura mentira, por eso hice la carta esa.
So, and in the bottom, I know that you had shown me that your mom had written some stuff. Can you read that for us?
Yes. So this is my mother's handwriting. It's going to be in blue ink. Si Mayela me extendió esta carta fue porque no me lo dejaran cruzar al lado americano. Ese fue el motivo. Yo tengo el registro y el número de seguro social del niño, el original, o sea, el primero. También, there's another, on the back side of the letter, it says, and this is my mom still writing, in handwriting. Todo lo que Mayela dictó en esta carta, todo es una mentira. Porque ella, al nacer, el niño no lo quiso. Y lo andaba regalando, y por eso, yo, su abuela, Gloria Guerra, yo lo agarré. Pero ella nunca quiso firmar papeles de adopción, porque ella estaba poniendo en el income sin saber del niño si comía o no comía. Nunca se mortificaba por ninguno de los dos niños que tuvo. El primero tenía en ese entonces 20 años, que era Damián, tu futuro esposo.
Sí.
Y el segundo es otro de 6 años, que es Arturito.
Okay, y te pregunto yo, pues I had heard that she got pregnant where from the second one?
She got pregnant with her supposed husband, but it's bullshit. She was his mistress because that man was married. He was a drug dealer from Matamoros, known by the name of Tyson. A él lo mataron cuando mataron a Tormenta también.
Right.
Bueno, ellos estuvieron en la cárcel juntos en Matamoros. Ahora, ella se embarazó, so it's a joint jail.
Right.
Allí, Mayela, and she started saying that I was a prostitute. Let's go talk about her.
Okay.
So she used to buy little lingeries, and she would dance for the inmates inside the Mexican jail in Matamoros. She was there for, to be honest, I don't know exactly how long she was, but it was like, I want to say like probably a couple of years. That's where she ended up getting pregnant of her second son, inside the Mexican jail from Matamoros. Con este chavo.
Entonces, regaló ese niño a tu mamá y tu mamá lo crió. Earlier today, she went live and she talked about que se las había llevado a tus sisters para un rancho junto con ella y que tu mamá les puso la pistola. What is all that about?
Okay, in regards to that, to be honest, I don't think I was even born. But I just speak to my sisters, and they deny everything. Ahora, what I'm thinking is that Mayela is trying, because since she has so much negative shit going on, that everybody's attacking her, and not only just like random people. Now it's family too. And the only reason why I'm, like I said, I'm attacking her is because I have to defend myself. Okay, so of course I'm gonna stand up for myself.
How
So,
did she treat your mom? Was there any
oh no,
type
she
of
was.
bond, love and caring amongst each other?
Uh,
¿Qué pasó allí?
no, o sea, mi mamá no quería saber nada de ella. Desde chiquita sí la mandaron a un boarding school porque ellos no querían lidiar con ella. That she was really, really bad. Now I did tell you over the phone that she had dropped one of my little baby sisters y ella fue la que la había matado, a nuestra hermanita Maribel. Ahí están mis otras hermanas de testigos también.
So, ¿se le
Nada
cayó
más.
la niña accidentalmente o fue algo a propósito que mató a
So
la
the
niña?
thing, she tried to do the same thing with my oldest sister, my other sister. I'm not gonna mention names because I really don't want to, but I
Okay.
spoke to her today and she told me the same thing. Que ella la trató de hacer lo mismo varias ocasiones y por eso a ella la mandaron because she was just like the black sheep, but like kind of straight out of a fucking horror movie. Like
Right.
trying to attack my sister because she would see that my sister would get a lot of attention. Not just that, others, it's two of my sisters. Siempre nos ha tenido coraje. Ahora se hace la víctima, o sea, como que, ay, no, nosotros, like, we don't want to include her. No, it's because we've always tried to avoid her because she was always a very mean person.
Right. Entonces tú me habías dicho que she was involved with drugs or she consumed drugs. For how many years was she living that life? Or what do you know
Oh,
about that?
oh no, she for like as long as I can remember.
So she
Yeah,
so she went through a drug addiction herself
yeah,
too.
of course, yes, she did. And but why do you? So look, there's this one time, and a mí me consta. Ella cuando estaba con Robert, her husband, he used to pimp her out for money, and he used to give her drugs.
Wow.
There was one occasion where she showed up to my mom's house crying. Her nose was broken, her teeth were knocked out. Why? That she had claimed that Roberto had beat her up. So there I go with my mom to his house en la fraccionamiento San Francisco, si no me equivoco, allá en Matamoros, para hablar con él, que por qué había golpeado a Mayel. Bueno, Gloria, ustedes la conocen como
Oh,
Gloria,
Gloria.
so he told her straight up because she wanted more drugs. The only way that they could calm her down was golpeándola.
Wow.
So not knocking her out. But see, the thing is, she can play victim all she wants, but in reality, she chose that lifestyle for many years.
What do you mean when she chose that lifestyle? Because tus padres le dieron de lo mejor, ¿verdad? Entonces, ella cómo cayó a esa vida. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, it
Yeah,
seems like your sisters and you have it together, right?
yeah,
Have jobs or whatever you do in your personal
yeah.
life, but something's happened to her, and maybe she's not that bad of a person, right? But maybe she has an open wound in life that continues to bleed. And I've always said it. Maybe the fact is that she gave away her kids is something that hurt her so much, or the time that she can't recover from the time she wasted being an addict or being in prison and stuff. Do you think that
Okay, but
scarred her as a
I,
person?
Jaime, pero la persona que ve eso, ¿tú crees que no van a querer arreglar sus heridas? I wouldn't want to be playing victim for the rest of my life. I would want to fix it. I would go visit my children who's locked, one of the children that's locked up, the other one in Matamoros. Ella no hace por sacarlo, ella no hace por visitarlo.
Bueno, and
En
it's,
vez,
hubo Christmas y hubo Thanksgiving recently. Did she go see her kid?
no, ahí se la pasó sola. ¿Por qué? Porque la familia ya no la quiere tampoco. ¿Por qué? Because every family reunion, there's an argument when she's around.
Right.
So nobody wants to talk to her, not even from my dad's side of the family, not even from my mom's side of the family.
Wow.
So, I mean, have you seen her post a picture with the family? Nadie la quiere. O sea,
Right.
y no porque, not because we want to exclude her, because she is just, she ruins everything. We're celebrating, we're happy, and then there she comes to cause problems.
Right. And the thing is, como te vuelvo a decir, do you think one day she'll able to reflect and change as a person, or do you believe she's going to continue being this way?
She's already like 55, 57. I don't know. To be honest, I would have thought that by now she would have already tried to change her ways, but hay personas que le encantan la mierda y ahí van a seguir. Disculpa la palabra, pero es la verdad.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, yo digo que se siente sola como mujer, y es gacha la soledad. To be honest, es muy gacha la soledad, es muy triste. Y por eso digo yo que se mama. y que hace, pone los greatest hits de Beto Quintanilla because no tiene amor,
Para
pero pues si no se deja amar y no se deja querer por nadie, va a vivir esa vida, she's gonna continue living that life.
yeah, but don't you think that she would want to go try to have a better relationship with her children? She's
Well, one
so
thing is, I
about my
feel,
mom.
one thing is, I feel she hasn't hit rock bottom yet, to be honest.
Oh my God, no! I really know when she hit rock. Trust me, I've seen her. I hit rock bottom. It was
See,
bad.
well, maybe you see her hit rock bottom there, but maybe that's what you believe. But
Oh, I saw it.
what is
Like
rock
I
bottom?
saw
Okay,
it.
explain to me what you saw that she hit rock bottom.
Cuando la, o sea, toda golpeada, when she was a drug addict, she used to do, and now she also, whenever she was locked up, we used to go visit her in jail. She ended up having a freaking, she claimed, okay, well, I know this is like personal information, but she wants to put my shit out there, let's go. So she also had a very severe case of an STD. My parents had to take her away to oncologist, and she was undergoing months, I mean, not just a couple days or a couple weeks, months under medication, porque ya tenía todo pudrido ahí abajo. Ahora
Wow.
ella está quejando de la gente que prostituta y que no sé qué, y ella, ¿quién? O sea, tiene cola que le pisen también, que no se haga la muy santa porque no lo es.
¿La casa de donde vive esta Chokey es casa de ella o casa de todos ustedes?
No, no, the one that she's living now, that is her, technically it's her house and her Arturito's house.
Okay.
Está bajo el nombre de los dos.
Pero la casa que dejó tus padres, esa casa es la que se querían vender y repartir entre todos.
Yes, well, and the reason, and sadly, we didn't want to sell. The thing is that since if we're going to be dealing with Mayela, en ese caso vender, porque si no siempre va a ser un problema. Like cada quien agarra su parte y ya. It sucks, but it is life. You know, like we have to move on. My mom's not here anymore, sadly, but to have to be dealing with someone who's problematic and constantly like no, we can't. We just prefer to, you know what, we came to the agreement, we'll just sell the house.
So, how was your mother with you, the rest of the family? Because I know she tried to portray that your mom was abusive, that she caused maybe mentally abuse or physical abuse. In your eyes, what did you see of your mother? Because she talked real bad about your mom.
Yeah,
So what type of mother did you all grow with?
Look, I have nothing bad to say about my mother. That she states that, oh, she physically abused us. No, my dear. I call that discipline. Right. In a Latino community, we all know that, you know, Latinos have the tendency to be a little bit more. Sí, nos daba con la chancla o lo que tú
pues
quieras.
¿Quién no? A mí también me dan con la chaca, con la faja y con la escoba también, chinga.
A ver, oye, no, pero, o sea, de que digas, de que mi mamá fue una cosa salvaje, no. I mean, I love my mother. Now, I don't know what her issue is against my mom, because to be honest, yes, she has a lot of anger against my mom. Why? I really don't understand. I cannot, because I never saw my mom treat her the way she states. Now, in regards to that, I mean, somebody who loves their mother so much is not going to talk the way she speaks and expresses of my mother, ever, regardless if she was physically abused or not. That's family business. You keep it to yourself. You heal. You deal with it with the family, not with everybody. What does she want here? This is what she wants: attention. She wants entertainment to let the whole world know for what.
You had mentioned to me earlier that Chokey had, I guess, tried to hit your mother or pulled out a gun on your mom. What was that all about?
Sí, se estaba peleando con mi mamá, le sacó se la desgreñó, que se tuvo que meter una de mis tías. La desgreñó y le sacó la pistola a mi mamá. Ahora, quiero hablar también, le presentó, ella se juntaba mucho con una señora que se llama Márgara. Ella se la puso de amante a mi papá. Para causar problemas con mi mamá y mi papá.
No.
She's bad. She never loved my mother. So, and then she tries to play victim. Girl, you obviously, you're the black sheep of the family. Nobody wanted you in the house. And I guess that's why she's trying to play victim.
Well, I mean, maybe she envy your mother because tu mamá sí fue una mujer de hogar, una mujer respetable, ¿verdad? Una mujer que crió de sus hijos. Entonces es algo que a lo mejor le tuvo un coraje a tu madre porque ella no pudo ser eso en su vida personal, ¿verdad? Maybe that's something that's why she envies y te tiene mucho coraje because you have been a successful person, sea through OnlyFans, sea through Twitter, or whatever it is. I mean, trabajo es trabajo, put it to you that way. Y tus otras sisters have been successful too. I think it's probably un rincor que tiene ella que por qué no pudo ser como ustedes. Why was I failed? Why was I this type of person that could not be successful like anybody else? And maybe that could be the root of evil towards you guys, that she has some sort of envy and some coraje towards all of you guys.
But this isn't an evil ongoing since she was small, though. I don't. She's mentally not stable. She really is.
You think she was born with some sort of a mental issue that was never addressed?
Ay, la verdad, no, yo digo que sí, Jaime. O sea, I'm pretty sure a lot of people are aware of how she lashes against everybody, innocent or not, si te metes con ella or no. O sea, like she goes out towards everybody, attacking everybody, people that she doesn't even know. O sea, ahí se anda metiendo. Y después ella espera que no se meten en la vida de ella. Obviamente, that's how you and I met.
Right. Y luego, there was times where she would contact my brother Jesse, right? She would text my brother Jesse that I was doing this and doing that. Pero nunca platicó de lo que hizo ella. I mean, she never talked shit. Yo por eso, some of my lives, I would say, háblale a mi hermano y dile toda la mierda que dijiste de él, dile toda la mierda que dijiste de su mamá, and let's see what reaction you're going to get. Porque es that type of person que no habla sinceramente y con la verdad. Like, esta soy yo, no me agüito si viví esta vida. I think it would have been a lot easier for decir, ¿sabes qué? Si fui marihuana, si me gusta la coca, si fui puta. And people will not be able to bring shit out of the closet because you admit to something you are. But why does she portray to be some sort of Rubí or Teresa telenovela type of thing?
No sé. I don't know, la high society y todo, o sea, ya viste la foto, o sea, tanto que se queja de la gente usa. O sea, ahí no le hizo burla al muchacho en el puente, que le pusieron el apodo de Lady Kobe, que porque era un piojoso y que no se le arrimaba su carro. Bueno, o sea, puras pendejadas que hace mayor.
En Matamoros, ella es como yo le decía que era la primera dama, ¿es muy reconocible como una mujer o no?
Por favor, no. A lo mejor en tu tiempo, cuando andaba casada con Roberto, conocía gente, pero ahorita, por favor, no. Una persona no se va a estar comportando de la manera como se comporta. Ahora ya anda sacando la pistola en sus lives, disparándole al colchón a lo pendejo. ¿Por qué? O sea, que vaya, si muchos pinches que tiene, ¿por qué no va con una persona que tanto le tiene coraje? She just portrays to be something that she is not. She's a nobody.
So she doesn't have that power that she claims she has, que conoce a gente y que ella puede hablar con so and so and she could get things done her way.
No, she does not. She needs to stop drinking or doing drugs or whatever the fuck she's doing in her garage. But yeah, no, she does not. She's a nobody.
Do you believe one day you guys could actually have some sort of bond between families and say, you know what, sister, let's just have a sit down and see how we could work this out and bring back unity amongst family?
Jaime, I tried to do this for the past 2 days, telling her, just leave me alone. I don't want to get involved in your circus drama. I did tell her like that. I was like, just leave me alone. Mom's name out of this, and there, you won't have issues with us. But after this, and after the way she spoke about my mother, and then putting all of like my family's business out there in regards to the properties and stuff, I have zero interest whatsoever trying to deal with people like that. Because why? It's draining. It's energy that's being drained. It's just bad news, and I don't want to relate myself with people like that.
Does she owns property in Matamoros, or she has a house for rent in Matamoros?
Sí, tiene una casita en las acciones, sí.
Okay. Y de trabajo, pues nunca, no está educada como ella dice que fue a la escuela y que se educó y todo.
En la cárcel, she got her GED. She got her GED in prison.
Wow.
That's her education.
No más puro GED.
Pues nada más puro GED.
Wow. A mí qué triste vida escogió como persona. Yo también viví la vida de un drogadito. No me admiro que haya hecho drogas. No te voy a decir, ¿sabes qué? Me voy a burlar de ella porque vivió la vida de un drogadito, porque yo viví esa vida también. De ratero, yo también fui ratero en mi vida. No lo voy a, y todo por la droga, ¿verdad? Entonces, to a certain extent, I understand her, not what she's doing to you and your family, But I understand that there is an open wound in her life. Because una persona que se refugia a las drogas, una persona that refers into the drug, it's because they want to escape reality. Or even a person who's an alcoholic, they want to escape reality, and they're trying to find that loophole to make themselves feel love, to make themselves feel happy. But that's just a temporary. It's like putting a band-aid on a cut. It's just temporary. So I think what Glow needs to do, and I'm going to say her name, and you know what? For this, I'll take off my wig. I think what she needs to do is really work on herself and find the root of that open wound to be able to heal from it. And maybe it's not you as a families and sister, it's her that needs to work on herself. Because mira, así estaba yo. Yo cuando viví la vida de un drogadito decía yo, my family doesn't love me, my family doesn't care for me, my family me trata así, pero nunca miraba los hechos que hacía yo, ¿verdad? Las pendejadas. And I was always playing the role as a victim. And that's what I see, a reflection of myself, that she cannot say, you know what, yo la estoy cagando, yo la cagué.
Oh no, she'll never admit that she's wrong.
And that's why I'm telling you, she hasn't hit rock bottom. Because until she admits que ella la ha cagado, que ha hecho mal, that's when she's going to hit rock bottom. Porque ahorita sabes que el orgullo lo tiene por arriba. Even si la hagan golpeado, even que haya ido para la cárcel, como quiera sale con ese pinche orgullo, que es chingona, que es Jenny Rivera y que es la reina del sur, right?
Pero hay que decir eso, Jaime. O sea, que la gente dice los drogadictos, que prostitutas, que gentuza. O sea, ella lo es todo y peor todavía.
And I understand where you're coming from. I understand exactly where you're coming from. That, you know, criticó a todo el mundo, habló mal de todo el mundo, habló mal de ti, de tu madre, diciéndole nombres a cada mundo, right? Pero es una vida que vivió. And usually a person que juzga a alguien más y que vienta la piedra, la piedra a esa persona, es porque la vida la vivió ellos mismos.
Yeah, but would you not want to, or you also want to kind of correct that type of behavior at some point? Like, I mean, instead of focusing on all this drama and talking about everybody, I personally, if I was so traumatized about my past and that my mom beat me up and I was in a boarding school and she tried killing me, okay, this trauma, I would try to reinvent it and, you know, try to fix the problems that I have with my children. No,
right, and that's one of the main things what she needs to do. She needs to focus on her children. Mira, todavía hay tiempo, ya tiempo perdido, pues you can recover it back. Pero los hijos necesitan el amor de madre. Regardless sea lo que sea, un hijo va a necesitar el amor de madre, más de la madre que el padre, to be honest, because la madre lo cargó en su vientre, lo tuvo, she gave birth. So, usually, most of the time, el niño está más pegado a la mamá. And that's where, you know what, that cycle hasn't been broken, because now her kids pueden crecer y ser lo mismo que ella, y se repitió la historia con Damián, to be honest.
Yeah.
Se volvió a repetir la historia porque no hubo el amor de madre. Sí tuvo el amor de abuela y de abuelo, pero no es lo mismo a tener una madre que esté allí.
Yeah.
Porque la abuela es más, the grandma's more understanding. La grandma te pasa poquito más. Oh, está bueno, mijo, está bueno, está bueno. Even though the grandmas know that the child is doing wrong, pero se detiene porque, pobrecito mi hijo, la mamá lo dejó, la mamá no estuvo allí. And that's, you know, it's hard, but you see that often. Yeah. And the thing is that there is time for her to be able to go recover her kids. That should be her priority, her kids. Nada más que sus hijos.
Yeah.
And I don't think she's going to do it anytime soon porque ese orgullo que tiene. Yeah. And you see it all the time. Regardless, que diga que no tiene un orgullo que nunca va a poder, que no ha dicho ella, sabes que yo la he cagado. It's always tú la cagaste, mi hermana esto, mi mamá esto, y todo el mundo esto, pero nunca dice, ¿sabes qué? Pues, ¿qué hiciste tú mal? Uh-huh. Para que te tengan, for your family to distance yourself, ¿qué chingados hiciste tú mal? ¿A quién le cagaste el palo? And so now, I mean, she said you were a prostitute. I think she talked about how mantenías a tu daughter y quién sabe qué. What do you, and I know it's something personal, but what do you actually do? And we're going to talk a little bit about you because, you know, I brought up the subject here about the OnlyFans, and I did subscribe to your channel, ¿verdad? And I want to clear this out with everybody here so that they could understand that it's not wrong. And I apologize to her that it's not wrong to have an OnlyFans. I've thought about it myself, to be honest. But the problem here is that cuando uno le gana el coraje, como te expliqué, yo dije pendejada y media. No lo voy a negar, ¿verdad? Pero you do OnlyFans as in what?
Yeah, I do it. So it's like my part-time hustle. And like I tell you, I'm not shy of it. I personally, if you go to my Facebook, I promote it on there. I promote the link, like, oh, if you want to see more sexy content, blah, 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 like, click link in bio, and that's it. Pero, o sea, yo la verdad, like, I don't see it as a bad thing because I'm not doing porn, even though I know she brought that up, saying porn, no sé qué. Yes, because yesterday she was threatening me that if I went live with you, she was going to talk about everything, about my Pornhub, no sé qué.
Do you have a Pornhub or no?
No, so I personally do not have a Pornhub. Ahora, esta empezó a buscar, she went to like 10 different porn sites, searching my name, literally, putting Jessica Guerra OnlyFans videos. O sea, ella buscando, escarbando. Ahora, nadie quería problemas con ella, pero ella misma se los buscó, por eso se está haciendo este live. Ahora, yo lo que yo hago, yo no le pido nada a nadie. Yo sé, mi hija ahorita está con su papá por los días festivos, pero mi hija ya está conmigo. I'm a full custodial parent. She cannot say the same thing. She has zero communication with her son in jail. The other one, she visits him, but they only let him go outside of his guardian's house. That's it. She cannot take him with him.
So does the little one that she has in Matamoros, right? He's about 17 or 18 already. Does that one call her mom?
No, le habla y le dice Gloria. Ella no es la mamá, and he knows that. He's fully aware. Ni tampoco el grande.
Y Damián se perdió en la cárcel because no hizo nada por él, or what happened there? Because I had heard the story que ella misma le puso, or she said it herself, que ella misma le puso el dedo a Damián, her own son.
Yes, because I think she had him living there in her house, and he had weapons, and he had all these drugs, like cocaine, he had ecstasy pills, y creo que por eso mismo lo pescaron a él.
Because the thing is, she had mentioned that she put finger on him, pero the reason was que el esposo lo había echado a perder. Por eso le puso el dedo al esposo que le dieron vida, parece, de cárcel, ¿verdad? But I think here, dice ella, me dijo ella que lo metió a la cárcel porque le destruyó la vida al hijo. Pero como madre, I think, how can you put your son in jail? ¿Qué corazón de madre tienes a meter a tu hijo a la cárcel? I think una madre da la vida por sus hijos, ¿verdad? Y una madre va a hacer todo para cuidar de sus hijos, sea lo que sea. Los hijos son como los dedos de la mano, todos somos diferentes, todos hemos vivido la vida muy diferente, nadie ha vivido una vida perfecta. Y una mujer que trae hijos a este mundo, pues los va a criar, porque ya ni los perros dan a sus hijos o los dejan tirados así. And the thing is that it's sad cuando una persona sits behind a screen y le está gritando, for example, Vanessa, que tus hijos, y mortifícate por tus pinches hijos, y que te quitaron a tus hijos, y tus hijos, y tus hijos, y tus hijos, y no se ve el reflejo, like, ¿dónde están los tuyos? ¿Qué le pasaron a tus hijos? She reminds me a little bit of Flowers in the Attic, que la señora puso los hijos allá arriba, los trancó en el área y se olvidó de Dios, nomás para volver a comenzar una vida nueva. And maybe that's what it is.
Ya, no, o sea, hasta al niño Damián también, bueno, ya no es niño, a tu novio, de que ella también, o sea, cuando él estaba chiquito, ella lo bañaba, pues, en Matamoros, helando afuera prácticamente, frío, lo bañaba afuera con agua helada, que el niño hasta moradito se ponía azulito.
Wow. And now this cycle with Damián has repeated itself again, because now he's in jail. ¿Cómo va a salir? And who knows when he comes out? Pero what does he expect? Is she going to conduct himself que lo va a reprochar como madre? Sabes que olvídate de mí, dale como tú puedas, para que vuelva a caer en lo mismo el muchacho? At the end of the day, pues nunca lo crió y todavía está metido allí y va a salir esperando, hey, mamá, aquí estoy. You know, and it's sad.
It is a really sad.
Ha vivido una vida muy triste, pero uno escoge los caminos de la vida, to be honest. Uno escoge los caminos de la vida porque uno que ata peludo, you know. El que le gusta la mala vida va a andar entre la caja. You can't do anything about it. And I want to thank you for being here with us tonight. There is something else you wanted to talk about, that she was arrested through federal court, or what was that?
So yeah, so I'm gonna. So if you want, we'll leave this for part two.
Part two, tomorrow,
Sí,
part two.
part two. I don't know if tomorrow. If I'll confirm with you. Let's see. A ver, vamos a ver qué tanto. Let me see what I could. But I'm gonna definitely get you more stuff. Don't worry.
Okay, well, we'll work on part two. I know que en Florida ya son las 10 de la noche, and I know that you probably wake up to go to work or do
Yeah.
something. So I want
Yeah.
to thank you for being here with us tonight. Muchísimas gracias por estar aquí con nosotros, Jessica. Te lo agradezco de todo corazón.
Gracias, gracias a ti. I love your show, by the way. You're very entertaining, and thank you for clearing out like the issue that you and I had. Well,
Okay.
in reality, we never had the issue. I understand you as a person. You're just defending yourself because she was attacking your mom, she was attacking your brother, and as a human, I understand that you were defending yourself as one. That's how I was dragged into this. But you know what? Everything happens for a reason. That's why I'm here.
Well, now we're friends, and we talked about we're working with each other. Family. So es mi tía estúpida, es mi pinche tía estúpida.
Mira, sí, cuando tú gustes venir a Miami, aquí tienes tu casa, corazón.
Gracias por el cash app. Gracias por el cash app de los 500.
Sí, de nada, ya sabes.
Bueno, gracias. Hasta mañana. Dios te bendiga.
Okay,
bye bye. So, guys, we're going to call one more person. We want to continue with this, guys, because I want to analyze this video. And I know that somebody made peace with her today, so I want to bring her on board.
Hola, Jaime.
Hola, ¿cómo estás, Miss Painter? ¿Cómo estás?
Pues aquí, bien cagada.
Bien cagada, bien sorprendida con lo que ha pasado, ¿verdad?
Ay, Dios mío de mi vida, no sé qué pensar, no sé, nomás te digo que algo no está bien aquí, no está bien con lo que ha pasado in the last few months with everything. Of course, you know that I talked to Glow this morning because I am tired of going back and forth with her, and I just don't want to do that anymore. But and like I told her, leave me out of it, and I'll leave you out of it. But pues hay dos lados de la historia. I wish, is there anything that Gloria would want to come and say?
I mean, if you want to message her, if you want to text her, I know that you called in her show. If she could call in and we could have a civil conversation.
Yeah, but con todo eso que dijo esta mujer y acusaciones y todo, I would think it'd be very hard to try to clear all of that mess up.
I mean, there's accusations by Jessica, but Jessica does have the receipts, which I have them. A mí me los mandó todo. So it's not corn that she's throwing out there. It's the fact is that cuando uno habla mal de una persona, la otra persona is going to retaliate. And she retaliated with receipts. That's the issue here. That she has a proof to show that she's not making up no bullshit story. So, ¿qué cara tiene Glow to come out and decir, ¿sabes qué? That is a lie.
Well, y la cosa es de que esta historia de familia es personal para ellas dos, and really she doesn't have to explain it. But I'm going to say that you and I got involved in this, and I was thinking today as to why. And it started out when she teamed up with her Mujeres Unidas and Poderosas and decided that she was going to help them bash on you.
Right. That was the root that started everything, because her and I, we didn't have an issue. When she decided to go somewhere else and decided to join a group of women to come after me, that's when the issue occurred.
Ahora en la tarde, Juan Ganet salió diciendo, a mí parecía que le habían dado un pinche cohete en el mero, entre medio de esas cosas. Y luego salió diciendo que assuming she was talking about me, maybe she was not talking about me, maybe she was talking about mi comadrita, maybe she was talking about somebody that was commenting there, but she said, own up to what you said. Don't make excuses. Don't try to put it on somebody else. Own up on what you said. And I was not owning up to anything I said about her. I'm not asking her to be my friend or to quash things with me. I called Gloria, and I was talking to her, and we talked really very little back and forth. Gloria never admitted in so many words that she was wrong, and I never admitted that I was wrong. I just said I want this to stop.
Okay, so that's that right there, and I'm going to stop you right there. When somebody cannot admit their mistakes, right? And
Hmm.
even if you say I want it to stop, it's going to be very difficult to make it stop because it's still there and it's so
I
fresh. When a person can say, you know what, I'm going to apologize, and I've asked her in other shows that she's called in here before, have you apologized to other people, right? And you know what I'm talking about. She said
Yes.
no, there has not been an apology. So when there's no apology there, then that wound is still open and it continues to bleed, y tienes el coraje, y cuando whatever little thing that happens, te va a ganar el coraje y va a hacer a cagar palo. And that's what happens with her.
Yeah, well, maybe she'll do that. I won't. A mí no me da coraje. A mí no me da coraje ni I don't keep grudges. But I'm going to say something that Wanga was probably talking about her bestie because she forgets that her bestie called the show and the only thing she said was, hey, 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 if I ever said anything wrong about you, I really didn't mean it. I didn't mean anything I said about you. Hey, own up to what you said. Own up to what you said about her.
And,
And so maybe estaba aventando una piedra Wanga a su bestie y estaba hablando de mí. I don't really understand it because, like I said, in this deal, only only certain people hacen mal y ellas nunca hacen mal. But I did not call Gloria and said, hey, 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 everything I said, I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. If I said anything to offend you, I didn't mean it. That was somebody else that called and said that. And I don't know why, because it was not about her we were talking.
and actually, before this live, and I'm sorry to interrupt, before this live, I called Miss Painter, and I had a conversation with this. And I told, what did I tell you, Miss Painter? Para que sepa la gente que sí tengo corazón, ¿qué es lo que te dije yo?
And you were hoping that these two girls would put things behind them and that they would become good sisters and help each other out. And that you were hoping for peace in this whole thing.
And I felt bad. I
You
did.
did. You didn't even know whether to allow this show to happen or not because you felt bad.
I did
But
feel bad, but at the same time, Jessica deserved the
she
opportunity to
does.
come on board and clear her name out and her family's name out.
Yes, she does. Just like Claudia deserved her turn to say, "Hey, lo que dijiste de mí," and she was saying it there. And a lot of people deserve their turn to say, including myself. Hey, you said I killed my husband. Uh, Maybe there's an explanation to all of that. I don't know, but I do know that this horrible, horrible stories that both of them said are something that is we I shouldn't feel bad about. It's their deal. It's their family issue. Uh,
Yo no me burlo, mira, como le dije a Jessica, yo no me puedo burlar de la vida que vivió esta Glow of an addict en ratera y todo ese pedo, porque yo hice lo mismo. A mí me gustaba la droga, yo era ratero.
I
Eso no te puedo criticar yo. Lo que me estoy diciendo yo aquí es cómo se podía admirar de una persona que vivió esa vida cuando ella misma la vivió. That's where,
Yes.
like, espérame tantito, mujer, like, how can you be so
And I
harsh on
told her that.
Vanessa? How can you be so harsh on
Yeah.
Vanessa, criticizing the loss of her kids or whatever, when you didn't even raise yours? How can you criticize me que joto y quién sabe qué pedo de drogadito when look at the life you lived? Like,
And I told her that cuando le dije todo eso, hey, tú sí, todo lo que avientas para arriba te saca en la cara, so stop. But, I don't know what her heart, I mean, obviously, and both times, one time she was on your show and she was crying like she was hurting. And then today I couldn't even watch it because it hurt me to watch her hurt. And so the thing is that eso todo está muy serio, that their family issues, and I don't want to even feel bad about something that they have in their own family brewing. See, I see your point, Jaime. You had to expose todo lo que estaban diciendo de ti, de que, hey, I will get you. expose you. I understand. Como le dije yo ahora, a veces dejamos cosas con tanto coraje que maybe we didn't mean it that way or whatever. I was not making excuses porque yo todo lo que ha dicho ha sido salido cierto. Hasta ese borlote de que bailaba en la prisión. You know, I didn't even know that, but I made that up and it came out true. But the thing is that I feel bad for her. I feel bad for her. I feel bad for her family. I hope that she learns not to pick on anybody, not to talk about people because people will bring everything up. Everything up.
And we had a talk, también, earlier today that a lot of these platforms have something in common. And we talked about a lot of these platforms have a lot of problems amongst their family members. Brothers and sisters don't like each other. Mentada de madres going back and forth cuando la misma mamá, losing their kids and not being there for their kids, living a life of alcoholics and other shit. So I feel that is why it seems like they all unite, because they have something in common, which is failure as a daughter, as a mother. And that's something that they that's why they stick together, because there is something in common that they have. They have an open wound that they could relate to, but they both want to fix it together by uniting and saying mujeres empoderadas or whatever it is, to see how they could put a temporary band-aid on it and say, you know what, us together we're going to be stronger than ever. But in reality, they can't. And like we said it before, and I've said it before in my show, a un joto nunca le van a ganar. Y peor when you have an open wound that has not healed and turned into scars because you haven't built your empire. You're still trying to dig yourself out of a fucking hole.
Yeah, but the problem here is que ni una de esa mesa se podía associate con una criminal.
Bueno, y me acuerdo que you had all these supporters de Glow. They say, oh, el Joto Mayor criminal, criminal. But now, how are they going to sit back and say, you know what, the person who is our so-called leader is a criminal too?
I don't know how those followers are going to take it, but I believe that the majority of them are either your followers or another platform's followers, and they're there just because pues algo to put the dots together. But I would be more interested in finding out what her besties think of her. Let's say this, that I today said, you know what, let bygones be bygones, and I mean it. That doesn't mean that she and I are going to be friends going together everywhere. There was a lot of rumors going around, and then I was. They said that I was mad with Frank. I'm not mad with Frank. Frank and I are still friends. I still love you, Jaime. Mm-hmm. I still believe. I like your show when we're laughing and we're laughing about stupid and crazy things, laughing at you, and it's just that this thing, por una cosa, me traía con algo pesado en el corazón, en el estómago, que yo como que I knew something bad was going to happen, and like something was going to happen, and look what happened.
Right, and the thing is, now it's a time. Oh, thank you, Monica. Now it's a time to sit back and say, you know what? How can these people fix their problem? How can they make things better? I could only give them advice, but like I said, Glow needs to let go of that pride, and she needs to snap out of it and hit reality and say, you know what? This is what I've done wrong. Entonces, when you start admitting to what you've done wrong as a person, you start becoming more humble.
But apparently it's been that way all her life.
Sí, pero cuando me dijo Jessica, she hit rock bottom, she hasn't hit rock bottom. A person that's going to hit rock bottom va a aceptar sus errores. Va a decir, sabes que yo la cagué.
Well, I know that I cannot even try to fix that mess because it's bad. I can't even try. I want to disassociate myself, esos energies de mí, porque yo de veras que no conozco a esas personas y me estaba causando mal. Yo, ¿por qué tenía que estar en este pedo con ella? Y so, you know, maybe her other friends can help her, her
Right.
besties can help her, but she certainly does need to live happy, and she deserves to. Everybody deserves to be happy,
Mhm.
and whichever way she wants to deal with it, whichever way she wants to. It's sad because apparently she's alone in this whole thing. It looks like to
And
me.
the thing is that she's alone porque, y te lo digo yo porque uno escoge esa vida. She's not alone porque las hermanas don't love her, because I'm sure her sisters do love her, right? But the problem here, cuando uno viene con chingos de problemas, in problemas that it's only going to a toxic relationship within the family. Thank you,
Mm-hmm.
Leonard. It's going to cause a toxic relationship within the family. Then you don't want to have that person around, especially when there's children around. They have daughters, they have kids and stuff like that. Y te lo vuelvo a decir por experiencia, no porque I want to bring her down, I want to kick her down, y ahorita porque está sufriendo. The problem here es que uno tiene que hablar con sinceridad y con verdad. Because se nota que ha vivido una vida muy difícil y esa vida la ha carriado a donde está ahorita. And sadly, she is a person that just needs that love in her life, but no one's going to show her love when she can't even love herself. And that is the
Well,
bottom line.
the thing is that I hope that today changed everything. That she no longer talk about Vanessa. That she no longer talk about you, about me, about people in a negative, or at least echando mentiras about people, because yeah, you exposed everything. Everybody here that's watching knows the real truth now. And so, you know, if she decides to come up and start bashing you or Vanessa or me or whatever, ya la gente sabe es puro pedo because look at her, you know?
Right.
So I'm hoping that today, the Jessica's call, my call to her, and her line this afternoon was, I'm putting this behind me and I'm not going to go back and forth in explaining anything or fighting with anybody anymore. I hope so.
I hope,
And
and I'm going to be honest, I hope this is a chapter that we could close and move forward. If she
that's right.
continues with her shit, if she continues with her crap, of course I'm going to go out and defend myself. Of course I'm going to say my 2 cents out there. But I hope it is a chapter that she could realize and bring awareness, because obviously this is awareness to a lot of us, guys. Because again, I'm not going to play victim here. I'm not going to say, oh, que pobrecito Jaime y pobrecito yo, y no, porque yo también dije pendejadas y medias, right? Yo también moví el hocico. I'm not going to.
And like I told her, I didn't deny things that she said I said. I didn't deny and said, no, son mentiras, yo no dije eso. No, I did not. I just wasn't there to fight or argue with her. I just said, I am here to say that this is going the wrong way. Ya está muy grande este borlote and it needs to stop.
Right.
Y, you know, comenzó de burlándonos, defendiéndonos, en burla, riéndonos, and whatever.
Right.
And now, look where he's at.
Right. Y
And,
por eso no es bueno, hablar de más. Y especialmente hablar de familia, porque cuando hablas de tu familia te conoce como la palma de la mano. Van a salir todos los pinches secretos. El secreto más, hasta lo que tiene más profundo en el chiquito, te va a salir y te van a descubrir. Por eso mismo, ella se fuera detenido. She should have held back and said, you know what, is it worth it talking shit about my own sister, my own family, when they have receipts to put it out there? Jessica came on board, and Jessica didn't want to do this shit. To be honest, Jessica no quería hablar, pero she got tired of it. She said, you know what, ya valió madre, ya me cansé.
la cosa, Jaime, is de que she should have never have started with you because you're gonna get to the bottom of whatever you're searching for, and you're gonna come out and spit it out there. So si tienes cola, mejor ni le piques al bear.
Right.
You know?
Y como que Diosito me lo puso todo en una charola, because I didn't have to do anything. I didn't have to call anybody. I didn't have to text anybody. I didn't have to message anybody. It fell on its plate itself. And Jessica came here, La Tia Jessica came in here and she did her part to clear her name out. But in reality, it just opens up a lot of doors where we see who is really who.
And from what I was reading on the comments and everything, none of the people that were listening to her were bothered by whatever she does. Nadie les importaba, nadie estaba bashing her, nadie estaba diciendo nada mal about it. It's like I told Gloria today, I said, because she was embarrassed about her sister, and I said, don't be embarrassed.
Thank you.
The world has changed. Everything has changed in this world, and so she does that. That's her business.
You know what? I'm going to be very honest. I would like to have a show with Glow, right? And I would like to talk to her as in, like, let me hear you out. And let's have a discussion about why you have so much remorse towards your family. And maybe like that, we would be able to get to the root of why she is the way she is, right?
Well, that's not going to happen, because bottom line is that the root of what's caused her to be who she is whatever she's gone through in life, and she's gone through a whole lot.
Right. Well, the thing is that she chose that path, to be honest. Mira, es como decir, no, que yo fui drogadito porque my mom and my dad had a divorce. That's not an excuse. Yo fui drogadito because my mom had 6 kids, right? Yo fui drogadito because I grew in a single parent household. Oh, shit. Oh. My phone fell. But that's Otto, es el diablo.
Dale, para que sigas hablando.
But that's
No. I would not even begin to try to figure out why she is what she is. She knows. She's an adult. She knows who she is and why she is who she is, and I'm sure she works on it. Because we all work on our faults and our errors and stuff. But no más, what I pray for is that today has been a turning page or closing of a book, de que ya no podemos decir, what else can we say to prove our point?
Do you think she needs some sort of help, like a psychiatrist, counseling, and stuff like that?
If she does, she's going to have to look for it herself. She's the only one. She's the only, and you've said this too. If you are a drug addict and you want to get off, you're the only one that can do it.
Right. Nobody else could change your life but yourself. No, you could go to 20 rehabs, you could go to counseling, you could go to psychiatrists, you could do anything, but it takes is to learn how to love yourself. Basically, that's what it is. And I think that's what Glow needs in life, learning how to love herself, because she does not love herself as a person. No se ama. And a lot of these people on other platforms, they don't love themselves. They portray to love themselves, but they live miserable lives.
Well, she's the only one that can do something about whatever it is.
Something's wrong with this shit. There.
So we just pray for her and say, I hope she finds her way. The good thing about her is that she's not depressed at home. She goes out to work. She goes out to do things for herself, and she goes on vacation.
But even if you go out, even if you go out of your work, even if you try to live a normal life, it's not the same. Remember, you go out and you associate with people out in the streets, but you go home, en la casa, you're back to living that la soledad.
You go out and you can carry that pain in your chest everywhere you go. You just because people are out having a good time doesn't mean they're not hurting. But everybody has to do something about whatever is bothering them. And like nobody could call me and tell me, pues you need to do this and this and this. You need to love yourself. And I'm sitting here saying, well, shoot, I don't think I have a problem. That's the first step, admitting you have a problem.
Well, that is why. That's what I'm talking about, when she can't admit to what she's done wrong. Todo el tiempo es tú y tú y tú y tú, y que Jessica y las hermanas, la mamá y el papá, pero nunca dice, sabes que these are my mistakes. So you go back to where she's at now, not admitting to where she's at because of her that orgullo que tiene. And now acuérdate lo que uno siembra es lo que cosecha. So she did it to 2 children of hers, right? Y ojalá, and I pray to God, que esos hijos tengan buen corazón y que la perdonen, porque at
They
the end
will.
of the day
They
es madre de
will.
ellos.
Just like I say all the I've said it before in the show that Vanessa's girls will knock on her door and give her a big hug. The future, la vida todavía tienen mucha vida adelante. If they work on it, they can fix maybe not 100% of their relationship with their children, pero esa sangre, esa connection between a mother and a child is always going to be there.
Y un consejo que sí le quiero dar a Glow aquí, and everybody is, mira, Glow, I don't hate you. And I don't dislike you as a person. I don't agree with certain things that you've done and said about me. And I'm not going to say I'm victim to it porque he hablado mierda de ti también. And I apologize to Jessica if I ever offended her in any which way. But I want to tell you something, girl, that I hope one day you know how to love yourself and how to value yourself as a person. Amar, respetar y valorarte como una mujer para que aprendas a amar a otra gente. Because if you can't love yourself, you can't love anybody else. That means you don't have love for your sisters, your brothers, your son, your kids, your uncles. You can't love anybody else if you can't love yourself. So all I'm saying, girl, is one day deja ese orgullo hacia un lado y aprende a amarte a ti misma.
Yeah.
Any advice you want to give her, Miss Painter?
I want to, the only thing I want to say at the end of this conversation is that I will never talk about this, whatever her problems are about her. I hope that by doing that, I can help her change to a better person or change what she does with other people. And so the only thing I can do is, pero también, leave me alone and I'll leave you alone.
Thank you, Miss Painter, for being here with us tonight. Gracias.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Hasta mañana, Dios te bendiga. So, guys, I want to thank everybody that was here with us tonight. A cada uno de ustedes. Again, I'm not here to make fun of Glow, to bring her down or anything like that. But I believe Jessica deserved the opportunity to come out here and clear her name with everybody, guys. I believe she has every right to stand up for her mother, the legacy of her mother, her sisters, herself. She deserves a lot, and she deserves to be able to. A ver, ¿qué me pusieron aquí? Hold on, let me. Great show. Wow, girl won't stop. She's in another platform, stirring up the pot and recruiting others platforms to talk about Vanessa Jaime's brother and sad. Apparently, that Glow is in another platform talking shit. I don't know how truthful that is. I'm not here to and that she's talking shit about Jessica. I don't know how true that is, if she is live somewhere else, guys. But I hope that one day she realizes that she's at fault and she accepts what she's done is wrong. And they will be part 2 of this. Apparently, there will be part 2 in a couple of days. Jessica will get more information. Obviously, there was not going to be part 2, but there is part 2 because she decided to participate in another page, apparently, to talk shit about all of us again. So if that's the case and we get receipts that she's doing that, there will be part 2. If she's not doing it, then there's no need to it, not unless Jessica still wants to come out and clear up her name and continue to show more receipts to show the public that she is not lying. But once again, Jessica, Dios te bendiga y Dios te dé más. I want to thank everybody that was here with us tonight. Y hasta mañana, Dios me los bendiga.